You know Campbell's. They're the OG in soup for a reason, and they've put every ounce of their unrivaled expertise into Campbell's Culinary Reserve frozen soups, which feature a robust lineup of over 60 chef-inspired flavors that deliver scratch quality to scale, all with the versatility to bring more dishes to life on your menu. Explore what Campbell's Culinary Reserve can do for you at campbellsfoodservice.com. Hi, and welcome to Extra Serving, a podcast from Nation's Restaurant News. I'm your host, Leanne Zinsmeister, bringing you another special Power List bonus episode. You may recall that back in April, we here at NRN published our annual Power List, highlighting 25 restaurant marketers who are creatively reaching guests, leveraging the creator economy, and 25 social media influencers creating innovative food content. Today, we're sharing a conversation between senior editor Bret Thorn and one of our power listers, Jennifer Tate, CMO of CKE Restaurants, including Carl's Jr. and Hardee's. They talk about brand separation, giving away free burgers, and, of course, influencer marketing. Enjoy.
How you doing, Jennifer?
I'm great. How are you, Bret?
I'm doing well. I wanted to talk to you about what you were doing at CKE. How long have you been there? Not that long, right?
Just about 6 months. Yeah, so I'm pretty new.
And you've hit the ground running, and you've started YouTube videos and stuff. Maybe we should start by talking about the Super Bowl giveaway campaign and how that came about. So I'll just let you talk about that.
Great. I grew up going to Carl's Jr. I went to junior high and high school and college in Southern California, and Carl's Jr. was the place to go. Back then you could leave campus and drive places to go, and we would go to Carl's every day, and I loved the brand. And, over the years, I think Carl's kind of lost its way, lost its, I don't know, maybe its coolness factor a little bit, because it was married to Hardee's. They had to have the same menu, they had to share the same advertising, and that can lead to just a little bit of, it can sort of be like handcuffs for a brand when you have to share your menu and your positioning and your look and feel, your design, everything with a sister brand. And so, really, when I got here, we thought we've got to give this brand sort of a rebirth, a relaunch, now that they're really and truly separate menus, separate designs, separate ad campaigns, a new agency for Carl's with the Callan agency. And, the thing about Carl's, the burgers are incredible. If you hadn't have a Carl's Jr. burger, if you get out to the West, you got to have one. And they have these iconic flavors. And one of those is the bacon Western cheeseburger. Nobody else makes, sorry for my dog, nobody else makes a burger like the bacon Western cheeseburger. It's got a fried onion ring on it. It's got barbecue sauce. It's got bacon. It's so good. And I thought, we've got to get like hundreds of thousands of these in people's mouths again, because I bet some people have just kind of forgot about Carl's. Maybe they just haven't had it in a while. And, we thought we got to make a splash. We just got to get people trying Carl's again. So we thought, what better day than the day after the Super Bowl? Back in the day, that's the day. First of all, Monday after Super Bowl is the day everybody calls in sick. They maybe imbibe a little too much at a Super Bowl party. It's a Sunday. They should have it Super Bowl Saturday, but if somebody decided the Super Bowl should be played on a Sunday, we thought, what better day than Super Bowl Monday to give away thousands and thousands of free bacon Western cheeseburger. There's no better hangover burger than the bacon Western cheeseburger. So we thought we will debut our new ad campaign on the Super Bowl, and we will give away thousands and thousands of bacon Western cheeseburgers on Free Burger Monday, just to get people thinking about Carl's again and sort of remembering the Carl's that always used to be. And so we wanted to just get a lot of attention and eyeballs and hearts and minds back on Carl's. And so that's what we did.
And how did it go?
It went great. I think our two big objectives were to get a bunch of delicious burgers in hungry mouths, and we certainly did that. We gave away, a couple 100,000 burgers, which was awesome. And we gained a lot of new fans. You know, we had another big objective, which was to bring in a lot more members to our loyalty program. And so the only thing people had to do to get this free burger was to download our app and join loyalty. No purchase required. All you had to do was download our app and join loyalty. And we had over 200,000 people do that. And I think something like 187,000 of those people are still active loyalty members today. And so that was a big deal for us. We had just over 1 million people in our loyalty program when we started the promotion. And so, you know, almost a 20% increase in one day. That's a big success for a promotion, to have a 20% increase in your loyalty program in one day.
Yeah, and to pay somebody a couple bucks to join your loyalty program, which is basically what you did. Like
Right. And our feeling was they're going to have this delicious burger, which is going to make them much more likely to come back than if we just paid for some sort of app acquisition thing, right? Which people do. Now they've had this delicious burger, and we can immediately hit them up with some other cool offers. So feeling really good about that. You know, and I think we had, you know, gosh, I want to say like 20 million impressions on all the social media stuff we did. So a huge success for, you know, basically what was a 2-day, you know, the Super Bowl ad aired on Sunday, and then we had this massive giveaway on Monday. So we're feeling really good about it.
And operationally, you guys handled it okay? No one actually died? Your hair didn't get all messed up? None of that?
No. Well, you know, my hair may have been fairly messed up, but no deaths to report. It was, you know, all in good fun. You know, Carl's always had, back in the day when I knew Carl's, they had this crazy sort of quirky sense of humor. They were a little bit off. And I think, you know, Hardee's is a very different brand. Hardee's is a much more sort of down to earth, authentic, simple, Main Street USA, you know, a very wholesome, small town America brand, which is wonderful. And I think it kind of tamed the crazy beast that used to be Carl's Jr. And so we just want to let Carl's be a little off the wall again, you know, and it used to be known for kind of making people think twice. So we're gonna let Carl's be free to do that again.
Yeah, you had scantily clad women draped over cars and stuff, all that stuff.
Yeah, I would not expect that to see that again, but we do want to you know, make people laugh and maybe be a little bit wild and crazy again, but don't expect the well, at least scantily clad supermodel.
And you're in charge of Hardee's too, right?
Yes.
So and CKA has an interesting history with Carl's Jr. and Hardee's, in that they marry them and then they separate them, and they marry them and they separate them, and so now we're in a separation period. And how's that going?
I think great. Both brands are doing much better post separation, and particularly Hardee's right now is having a great rebound. Some really positive results. Hardee's has always been about scratch made goodness. You know, folks, our team members show up at 4:30 in the morning and start scratch making biscuits. You know, they're hand breading their chicken tenders. So Hardee's now can be all about what makes the customers truly love Hardee's, which is the best breakfast in America, scratch made goodness. Now that brand is free to be on air, you know, dedicating all of their resources, all of our advertising to what makes people love Hardee's, we're seeing a tremendous sort of rebound in our sales and traffic at Hardee's as well.
Great. And so what kind of marketing are you doing around Hardee's these days?
Well, our tagline is goodness in the making. And so we're spending a lot of time building those credentials around quality ingredients, you know, for example, 100% Angus beef, scratch made biscuits, and hand breaded chicken, and just telling that story about, you know, people who care enough to show up at 4:30 in the morning every day and, you know, hand make the biscuits, and they make them every 15 minutes, you know, so they're always fresh and always handmade. So we're telling that story, you know, a lot on TV. A little bit of linear, a lot of connected TV, pretty much the full gamut of sort of an omni-channel approach to telling that story of goodness and craft made. I think we'll be exploring some additional partnerships for next year now that we're, firmly established with brand separation. So really looking forward to continuing that.
And what sorts of partnerships, excuse me, would those be? Would they be with other brands? Would they be with celebrities? Increasingly, we're seeing partnerships with influencers. Are those all things that are on the table for you?
Yeah, we've started a little work with influencers this year, and that has worked well for us. So I think you'll see us expanding that. I think we're also our Hardee's fans are big regional college football fans, so we may look into that, right? Between the SEC and the Big Ten and the ACC, you can cover pretty much all of Hardee's territory. So we might look into some regional things there. No commitments been made yet, but we have a big concentration in the Southeast and the Midwest, so that makes those sorts of opportunities possible. And obviously, what goes better for watching a game than hand-breaded chicken tenders and biscuits and coleslaw and things like that. So, and then music, we've had a heritage at times of partnering with some great talent, whether that's country artists or other artists. And so I think we might explore some of that as well.
And would you do something similar but with different celebrities at Carl's Jr.?
I also think Carl's is another brand that has had a history of working with some of the some professional athletes, occasionally some other types of celebrities. When we did this Super Bowl Free Burger Monday, we partnered with some like TikTok influencers, and that was a big part of the success. So I think we'll continue to do that as well.
How do you select those influencers? How do you pick which ones to work with?
We love people that are already focused on sort of food, obviously, and people that talk about our category a lot, who are sort of obsessed with delicious, quick serve food the way we are. And then, of course, we look for people that are funny and have a lot of followers. And so that tends to be, there's people that have millions of followers, and what do? They drive through and they eat the food and they talk about it and they're funny. And so we tend to lean towards influencers who are all about the food.
And how much a part of your marketing energy goes towards either partnering with influencers or perhaps even more broadly, making sure that you have a presence out there in the cloud, on social media, wherever it might be?
I think it's a really new thing for these brands. This Super Bowl promotion marked a pretty serious investment on our part of partnering with influencers, and we found that to be so successful that we will be returning to that, those types of strategies for the future, because we really reached so many people that I don't think that we would have before. I mean, in particular, by being part of like TikTok's top feed, that was a really important strategy for getting, being able to go from sort of 0 to 10 million views or 0 to 12 million views almost overnight. It's especially with our core consumer being young, hungry males, that's our sort of design target at Carl's. Obviously, we have a lot of other people who come, but it's you could run a lot of ads before you could hit 12 million young, hungry males, and partnering with the right influencers, especially something that you want to get the word out really fast, like we're giving away free burgers on Monday. That's a great way to do it.
Yeah, and you said that on Sunday that you were giving out free burgers on Monday. So you really had to get their attention quickly.
Yes. And so we started working with the influencers Thursday of that week. So Thursday, Friday, Saturday, basically we had 3 days partnering with those influencers to get that word out so that we would have, enough awareness to really achieve our goals on Monday.
I'm guessing you've been in marketing for a while, because they wouldn't hire a greenhorn to be the chief marketing officer of CKE. So how has marketing changed over the past, say, 5 or 10 years, whatever time period you want to talk about?
Yeah, it's been incredible. You know, the first time I had the role of sort of leading marketing, where I was the executive vice president of marketing for Olive Garden, which is their version of a CMO. I had started there. I was there 10 years and worked my way up from director to VP to CMO. And, you know, when I started there, we did TV, linear TV, and FSIs. I was like, that was.
Oh, you froze there for a second.
Oh, can you hear me?
Now I can. You said FSIs.
Oh, yeah. When I started, the whole plan was like linear TV plus an FSI every window. And, you know, it evolved, and, you know, people would say, oh, we should try digital. Like, I remember, you know, doing that. And then, you know, you evolved your mix, and then you were doing streaming, and then you were doing, you know, well, first you're doing programmatic, you know, display ads. And then, you know, it's just evolved so much to the point where now there was a time where, at Olive Garden, at Cracker Barrel, most of our mix was online video and connected TV and, you know, paid social, paid search. And I think a lot of brands now are even talking about the future of, like, other than sports, will we be on linear in the future, right? It's just hard to get ratings there. So it has really, really changed. And there's so many opportunities now. Even with partners like, you know, Roku and Prime, where you can do these takeovers, you know, and reach so many people with such rich data, you know, because if you're subscribing to a Prime or a Netflix or a Hulu or a Roku, you've sort of given, as a subscriber, you've given them everything about you. And now we can really hyper target just the right ad to just the right people. And it's sort of like, why go back? Once you've been able to access that kind of richness of data and reporting, it's really hard to spend money, you know, blind, if you will. So,
right. And having no idea. Yeah, you have no idea who's watching it, really, who sees it, who it resonates with. And yeah, you can tell Roku or whomever, please send this, I assume, to the male 18 to 34-year-old demographic, whatever they're watching, that's what we would advertise. And they say, yes, here you go.
There's almost this idea that because things are so real time in terms of results from partners like that, you know, you even wonder, you know, ad testing, you can just give them an AB or an ABC, and then, you know, sort of real time optimize too. So it's even changing the way we produce and test creative now, because you can make changes so quickly and get results so quickly and make changes so quickly. So those kinds of partnerships are really, really, really valuable for so many reasons, not just targeting, but also this very quick feedback loop you can get.
Yeah, you can see in real time, I guess, whether, you know, I mean, if especially for you guys, I mean, not only do you get the data feedback, but if an ad runs and everybody starts ordering from Carl's Jr. or Hardee's, you know that it worked.
That's right.
And it's harder to do that otherwise. I mean, I guess if you advertise during a game and everybody calls during the game, then that makes sense. So what are we going to expect to see? You said with Hardee's, you're going to be doing some partnerships, although nothing is set in stone, so I wouldn't expect you to say anything about that, besides what you just did. But in terms of Carl's Jr., what sort of marketing campaigns are we going to be seeing, do you think?
I think you'll see us continue to dramatize in a very sort of funny way, kind of like you saw in the Super Bowl ad, sort of the crazy, impulsive things that people will do when they get an inkling, when they get a flash of a Carl's Jr. burger in their mind, sort of the insane, crazy things they'll do to get to a Carl's Jr., right? And so we've got these iconic, irresistible flavor profiles, you know, whether it's a Western bacon cheeseburger or a guacamole bacon burger, El Diablo, which is my favorite. You know, those are iconic flavor profiles people can't get anywhere else. And when that pops into their mind, like they'll do literally almost anything. So we're going to be, dramatizing the crazy means that people will go through to get, whatever that Carl's Jr. flavor is that they're craving. So throughout the year, you'll see that campaign continue.
Well, that's going to be fun and attention getting. And I probably won't see them unless your people send them to me because I live outside of Carl's Jr.'s territory.
Well, we'll make sure we do because they're funny.
Great. But I mean, and also that also shows sort of where marketing's going, and that if I can't buy a Carl's Jr. menu item, you're not going to spend the money showing me an ad for it. And like, it's funny. It's like publishing. When I started at NRN, it was a weekly magazine, which is hilarious. And now it's a constantly everything. And yeah, it was as late as 2008 that we were like, we've had this website for a long time. Maybe we should like work on that. And now obviously.
Yeah, it's weird to me not to get it on my desk every week. I used to get a stack, of and I kind of enjoyed that little break in my day where I would flip through, whether it was Ad Age or NRN, just to, it's sort of harder to remember like, oh, I should go read it. It was almost like an excuse when it got put on my desk, like, oh, I get to go through these now. And I actually kind of miss the paper copies.
Well, that's sweet. And we still publish once a month. You can get it. And
yes. I know. I liked the weekly, like getting a little thing on my desk every week, but I'm a little bit old school.
I respect that. And
I still read a newspaper every Sunday. So
wonderful. Thank you. We need readers. Although we're, like you, we work on getting in front of our audience wherever they want us to be. And obviously we want a younger audience. So we do the Instagram and the TikTok also, just like everybody else.
Yes. I love me some TikTok. I mean, I do it all.
I'm working on loving TikTok, but we are out there. Anyway, thank you a lot for your time. I'm sure you have other things that you need to do, and you've answered all my questions, and I really appreciate getting to know you.
Yes. Well, thank you. I appreciate it too.
You know Campbell's. They're the OG in soup for a reason, and they've put every ounce of their unrivaled expertise into Campbell's Culinary Reserve frozen soups, which feature a robust lineup of over 60 chef-inspired flavors that deliver scratch quality to scale, all with the versatility to bring more dishes to life on your menu. Explore what Campbell's Culinary Reserve can do for you at campbellsfoodservice.com.